Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation Podcast Festival Edition. Today, we're with April Burgett. She is with the Havana, Illinois Chamber of Commerce. They host a number of events throughout the year. So, April, thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
April, give us a little background on you. Where did you grow up? Talk just a little bit about your family and career.
Sure, absolutely. So I was born and raised in Havana, Illinois, and we're just a little rural community here in Illinois, but we are located right in the heart of the Illinois River Valley on the Illinois River. And we have kind of had a long history of really artsy people, so very creative. Artsy people had a long history of live theater in our downtown, a lot of local artists and musicians. And it's been kind of a long tradition that has just grown and really blossomed recently in the past 5 or 6 years with the culmination of a lot of really interesting and unique events.
All right. All right. Now, you have a songwriter festival, you
We
have
do.
a music festival, a concert series. Let's jump into those a little bit. Let's specifically talk about your songwriter festival.
Sure.
When does that occur, and what does that look like for our listeners? How long is it? They always want to know these three questions: what it looks like, what it smells like, meaning food, and then of course what it sounds like, the events and things that you have going on through those times.
Sure. Yeah. So Songwriter Festival, we're really blessed. We have, because of the fact that we've really been featuring a lot of these unique events, we have had a lot of new residents and visitors, and a few of those folks have a lot of extensive background in the music industry. So Edward David Anderson, who is an American singer-songwriter, has relocated here. So
Oh
Ed and
wow.
his wife Kim, they have a company called Black Dirt Music,
Mhm.
and you can find all the details of the event on blackdirtmusic.com. But it was their desire to move to a rural community. When they came here, Ed is a professional musician, and they just saw so much potential with our downtown and our really unique venues that are throughout the downtown. And so this music festival really focuses on really creative, original singer-songwriters. And so what the event looks like, first of all, it's this coming weekend. It is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's very unique in that it features a songwriter in the round. So there will be these really intimate, cool sessions in really unique venues throughout our downtown, and everything is walking distance. Um, but there will be 5 or 6 songwriters, and they will talk about their creative process in writing the song. They will play the song, they'll interact with each other, they'll do some ad lib, stuff. Really awesome. So what that looks like is really just well, I guess the bill says 3 days, 5 venues, 18 songwriters, and 3 bands. And this will take place Friday evening with an opening reception and the first round. Then there'll be like a really cool jam session at our local coffee shop on Saturday morning, followed by a short sort of concert by something we just added, and then Saturday afternoon and evening, and then the big showcases on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon take place in our downtown beer garden, which is the Stag Tap Beer Garden. So the songwriter in the rounds, those armband tickets are limited to really about 60, and we still have some availability, although not a lot. The big showcases at night are more. So even if you can't get an armband to the full 3-day event, you can pay at the gate at the beer garden and take advantage of any of those 3 showcases on those evenings. Lots of food downtown. We have a really great bar and grill, Babes on Plum. The beer garden is launching something new this year, which is like an actual food truck in the back of the beer garden. So
There
they'll
you
be
go.
serving up things out there. So the smells, the sights, the sounds, and the smells of downtown will be great. We have an awesome, authentic Chinese restaurant right next to one of the venues. We have Los Charros, Grandpa's, Sweet Teas, which has lots of good stuff, and shaved ice and treats. So everything is within walking distance, including the river. So our downtown is fairly unique in that we have these historic red brick streets, and everything is walkable. So there are about 22 Airbnbs within our downtown, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, so we have also beautiful riverfront park that spans about 3 or 4 blocks, and there's a campground there. So if you're not into the Airbnb thing, you can rent camping right on the riverfront. There's a footbridge that crosses our historic Main Street, and so it takes you right down into Riverfront Park. We've got an awesome marina. So a lot to do down there. So tickets are still available, and they can be purchased on Eventbrite or on blackdirtmusic.com, and you can see the full lineup. This year is just, these folks are coming from all over to our little town of 3,000 people to put on this amazing weekend-long festival, and it's just amazing, the talent that we're bringing in this year.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, now let's jump over to your summer concert series, because that's going to intrigue a lot of people as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the summer concert series, this is actually our third summer for that event. We looked at the downtown and we thought, there's this big, beautiful stage that is right at the end of our main street. And so if you look to the east, you see our entire historic downtown, and you look to the west and you're looking out over the water of the Illinois River. So beautiful setting, lots of benches already there, like permanent style benches up in the park, and this gigantic stage. And we felt like it was the perfect venue for this summer concert series to get a lot of folks out and bring in new visitors and faces to Havana. So again, Ed and Kim, who are very instrumental in the talent buying portion of this and really seeking out the high quality type music that we're looking for in these events, were really instrumental in working together with the chamber on this one. And so we have 3 concerts. They are the second Saturday of every month in June, July, and August. And we do secure sponsors and grant funding for this event so that it is free for everyone to attend. So this is family friendly, up in the park. It's kind of weather permitting, but we've been really lucky in the past, knock on wood. So we've had a couple of really great years of weather, beautiful scenic place to just hang out, bring your own, bring your own beverage, bring your own snacks, food, picnic basket, blankets, chairs. And it really does have kind of a summer music festival type feel as well. And there are 3 of them. So our first one is June 10th, and we will be welcoming Chicago Farmer and the Field Notes, and Edward David Anderson will. Yeah, so
That's a great name, man. I love that.
They're hugely popular. They have a big following. And so, yeah, they're from the Bloomington Normal area. In July, we have Seth Walker, and I believe he's from North Carolina. And then we have the Stillhouse Junkies, who I think are from the state of Colorado. Really traditional bluegrass coming in August. So a couple of 3 really great, outstanding lineup again this year, and it's all free. So
what really gets why such a strong focus on live music for you guys?
So I think it really encapsulates what Havana is becoming known for. So we've sort of loosely been known for our artists, everything from fine art to mural artists to musicians, but we've really found a way that we can market that and bring it to the world, so to speak. So Havana, 5 or 6 years ago, we really embarked upon a revitalization effort for our downtown. So we had seen the loss of a lot of big industry and factories over the years, and our downtown was really getting smaller and smaller with less and less buildings being occupied. And we had a really forward-thinking city council and mayor who really took the bull by the horns, hired a consulting firm, and said, we need help because we are sitting in this beautiful mecca of natural resources. We're right on the river. We have a great stock of historic buildings, and we have a lot of really creative, talented people in and around our community doing a lot of cool stuff. We just need to know how to bring this to the world and be
Yeah.
discoverable. And so, live music plays a really important part of that because it's a way for us to bring in folks who maybe don't know about Havana or have never been there before. It's a real draw. Our Stag Tap Beer Garden, the owners of that venue have been extremely engaged in this, and they basically hire live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday throughout the entire summer, May through October. So if you're going to just visit Havana, you're within walking distance of live music every single weekend all summer. And then we have these special events, on top of that. So
Yeah.
it's been really fantastic to sort of see the restoration of these historic buildings being turned into these amazing venues that have this real unique, authentic feel, and then bringing true singer-songwriters and featuring live music.
No, that's great. Well, listen, I think you have an amazing job. I think you have a great position there. What do you feel like is the best part of your job?
Well, I think probably what maybe makes me successful is that my position as president of chamber is 100% volunteer.
Oh,
So I actually have a full-time gig with the University of Illinois as a business manager. So that's my day job. And my husband and I really embarked on some ambitious goals of restoring buildings ourselves personally. So I'm an Airbnb superhost, and I have an Airbnb called the Historic Havana Loft, and it's just 2 doors down from the beer garden. And so I love hosting visitors. I know a lot about the area and the natural resources because it is my home, and I am born and raised Havana, so I'm super passionate about it. I love my volunteer role with the chamber. We're a 100% volunteer board of 12 people, and we're just very interested in really seeing Havana boom and become a really successful tourism destination, while also offering these really unique, amazing things to our own local community to take advantage of.
man, that's spectacular. I
The
mean,
best part is I get to really promote my own hometown and see that growth and help, create a legacy for future generations with
yeah,
Havana.
that's fantastic. I think you can't really ask for more than that, right?
No, you cannot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Very cool. Okay, a couple fun questions because I just like to survey the nation. I like to see where we're at and how things are going. But I always have this first question that I ask because I am in music full time. We tour all over the nation. I like to know who is the best concert you've ever seen your entire life.
Wow. Okay. That's a good one. I would probably have to say BB King.
Okay.
I saw BB King in the 90s live at the historic Madison Theater in Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
And it was probably one of my favorite. It was probably the best concert I've ever seen. He was so charismatic and engaged with the audience. And this beautiful historic theater was just, the sound was amazing. He was amazing. I'm a fan of all types of music, but I would probably say that blues and maybe some of the rhythm and blues, like the Otis Redding type music, and Smokey Robinson, and BB King is just wow. It was phenomenal. It was an amazing concert. So that was probably the best one I've ever been to.
Okay, that works. That I think that's as good as you can get. Okay, dead or alive, you could bring one musical act to Havana, Illinois. Who would you bring?
I would bring Sturgill Simpson.
Oh,
Sturgill is one of my all-time favorites, and his blues, 2 CD blues, recent release in 2020, Cutting Grass, volumes 1 and 2. I probably had that on repeat for almost 2 years, and the sound is amazing. The lyrics are amazing. I really love Sturgill and his style. I love him in sort of the Waylon Jennings type throwback outlaw country style, but I love him even more in the bluegrass. And I would love to have him come and perform at our riverfront and, just check out Havana and get to meet him in person.
You have some very nice musical taste, and I think a lot of that probably has to do with what you have going on right there, and just that your culture has evolved from that.
Yeah, it really does. I was born and raised around music. My dad always had a guitar. He always was playing music. I was a child of the late 70s and 80s, and my dad came back from the Vietnam War, and nobody had a lot of money to do anything. And so dad and all of his friends that, we would just get together, and the guys would play music and the gals would play cards and chit chat, and the kids would play together. But I always migrated over to the circle of musicians, and I always wanted to sing along and try to learn to play the guitar. And, so it's been a part of my upbringing. And it really has been a part of Havana. My dad was a close friend of Jerry Pork Armstrong, and the regionally famous Pork and the Havana Ducks had a fairly cult following in sort of the whole central and eastern Illinois area. And I used to get to go with them, and it really sparked this love of all sorts of music in me. And it really makes me passionate about working with Ed and Kim Anderson, and bringing this just really unique offerings to such a small rural community.
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. That's great. All right, I've been selfish. This is your chance. You get a chance to ask me a question, anything that you'd like to know. What would you like to ask me?
Well, I'd love to know, like, what, how you got started in doing your interviews and your podcasts, and how that all came to be for you.
So we started during COVID. I'm fortunate enough that we didn't have to completely shut down during COVID, but a lot of venue owners were shutting down, and some of them were doing really well. And we just wanted to start sharing that information with people, because there just was a lot of negativity out there, and there were some people that were doing really, really well during COVID. And I thought, man, we need to share this information and get that information out there, because you just never know. You change someone's perspective, and it can change the whole, not only the culture, but it can actually save a business. And so that's really what we want to do as we go through there. And then after COVID lifted, man, people were looking forward to getting back out there. There's so much out there in the world that we don't know about. And with today's technology, why not share it and get going with it, So
yeah, I like that. You can talk to anyone anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it amazing.
And people want to travel. People want to travel, and they want to get out there. And so that was huge for us. Yeah, absolutely. Very good.
So what does that?
Go ahead.
Additionally, like what does a weekend look like for you then?
Well, we travel all over the U.S. now, so we're able to go pretty much everywhere. We've been to 49 states. We haven't been to Hawaii yet, but that's always on the outlook for the future as it goes through there. So we tour, and just really, I was just thinking about it today. I just think we get to meet so many cool people, And, I say that, respectively to sometimes you have bad experiences, but you have to let those go. We meet so many exciting people. And it just, you get to share their highs and their lows. You get to share, you become friends, you really do. They follow you on social, and you get a chance to interact with them. And, gosh, you just, it really is, an incredible job that I have. And I just, man, I love it to death. And you get to share their highs, you get to share their lows. And that really is what kind of life is about. And man, we just get to live it to the full level. Yeah, super grateful for that.
I would agree with you. I feel like, I guess along those same lines, I feel like the things that we're offering in Havana, really make me reflect on the fact that we live in an experience-based world. And, when we lost that personal connection in COVID, because we're human beings, we found a different way to connect with each other, and through social, through Zoom, we found a way to continue to work, and we found a way to continue to socialize, even though it looked different than before. And now I really have learned to appreciate that hybrid version, because seeing you in person is so much better than just talking to you on the telephone. And,
Oh yeah.
we're finding that this experience-based economy, if you will, has been wonderful for us in Havana, because we're attracting new residents who are able to work remotely and have the experience of living in a really small town that has a lot of big amenities and a great personality. So it's been wonderful for us. We're starting to see our population grow a little bit, and seeing lots and lots of visitors come in, and really becoming a really unique tourism destination. And it's wonderful to get to provide that, like I said, not just to our residents and our local community, who are maybe getting exposed to some real high quality music for the first time ever in their life with these free offerings, but also attracting all sorts of visitors that just want that small town experience. We're just a short 3-hour drive south of the city of Chicago. So, you can leave at 9 a.m. from downtown Chicago, arrive in historic Havana, Illinois 3 hours later, and be in an entire different world.
Yeah.
The pace is just slower. The community is friendly and strong, yet we have so many unique things for folks to be able to take advantage of and do. Everything from natural resources to boutique shopping, great restaurants, and of course all of the arts and music.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Very good. How do people find out more about what you guys are doing there in Havana?
I think the easiest way would just be to check out our website. So we have a website. It's www.historichavanaillinois.com. There are links there for the Songwriter Festival. You can still get tickets for this weekend. There are links for the Summer Riverfront Concert Series, First Fridays and art. We have brand new murals in the downtown. We have a self-guided historic architectural walking tour where you can look at the buildings and scan a QR code and learn all about the history of the buildings. Of course, you can walk to the river. If you have a boat, we have great boat ramps you can put in. We have a seasonal marina that's open Memorial Day to Labor Day. They have a floating dock bar called the Blue Heron Bar and Ship Store. And it's a great place to hang out. He's got live music 3 or 4 times throughout the summer. So it's just, everything's on the website. Check that out. We would love to have you come and see us in Havana. And the second weekend in September, we have our 50th annual Oktoberfest celebration. So we'll have all sorts of games, a big parade, a carnival, live music in the downtown, including polka, and all sorts of fun activities then. So we would love to see your beautiful faces in Havana.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being on with us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of